Speight opens the lead in the Marine Stakes to a length, Untitled in second. Lucky Curlin on the outside making a little headway and dotted line. But inside the final furlong, Shirl Speight's lead is 4 lengths. Lucky Curlin finishing on, but Shirl Speight still hands and heels. And we have a new star on the horizon at Woodbine. It's Shirl Speight. How good is this horse? Untapped and untroubled to win the Marine Stakes by...
Welcome back to another 2020 Kentucky Derby profile here on the Racing Rundown. I'm Eric DeCoster. In this edition, we will be discussing Shirl Speight, probably the most interesting horse in this year's Kentucky Derby for a multitude of reasons. There's so many reasons why this horse is interesting in this Derby, why he's just a completely unorthodox an anomaly in this year's Kentucky Derby, in any Derby, and really was the biggest beneficiary from the Derby being moved from May to September, and we'll talk about it right now. Back in 2013, the Kentucky Derby, as most racing fans know, and for those of you who aren't super familiar with the qualifying process for the Kentucky Derby, they introduced a point system. It used to be purely based on earnings in graded stakes, what horses made in graded stakes races, earnings-wise, and that would determine the qualifying order for the Kentucky Derby. In 2013, they did away with that. They introduced the point system. So every single race was allotted a certain amount of points to the winner, second, third, and fourth place finishers. And you acquired points on the road to the Derby, and obviously the top 20 were the ones that would get in. Well, this is the first year we are going to see a horse with 0 points make the Kentucky Derby, and that's Shirl Speight. He's 2 for 2 lifetime. Debuted at Woodbine Racecourse up in Canada in July, actually on 4th of July, so that doesn't matter up there, but it matters here in the U.S., and he won that race by 8 lengths on the grass, going 7 furlongs on the grass. And while it's not, we've seen Derby winners who debuted on the grass, or horses that ran well in the Derby debut on the grass, run very well in the Derby. It gets weirder with Shirl Speight. Comes back 3 weeks later, runs in a grade 3 up at Woodbine on the all-weather up there, so not dirt, synthetic surface. He wins that race by 3 over some pretty, veteran race horses, veteran 3-year-olds, I should say, class-tested 3-year-olds, and he won that race very impressively. Visually, very nice win there up at Woodbine on the all-weather. Well, that kind of got the Derby rumblings going. Owner Charles Fipke, he's a horse racing fan. He does what the people want, pretty much, and he wants his horses in the big races, and he's running Shirl Speight in this year's Derby off of only 2 races. Was only debuted in July, which obviously, if this was a normal Derby, he'd be 2 months late. Well, he's in this year's Derby without a dirt race, with only 2 races to his name. He's never faced another Derby horse. There's just so many interesting things about this horse, but the biggest thing, I think, like obviously, all the things I've said would not normally point to a Kentucky Derby winner, even though we have seen a Derby winner, Animal Kingdom, in 2011, who won the Kentucky Derby despite never having ran on dirt before. So it's not unprecedented what this horse is trying to do, but the 2 starts, that's very surprising, and of course the fact he's never ran on dirt and he's never faced these kind of horses, but he's been working on the dirt up at Woodbine. They have a training track that is on the dirt, and he has been working lights out. I mean, lights out. Killer time on August 13th. He went 5 furlongs and 57 flat, which is ridiculous for any horse to work that fast on the dirt. That's truly incredible for a horse to go that fast in just a workout. So there's no telling what this horse can do on dirt. Pedigree-wise, by Speightstown, who has sired winners going this distance, obviously Speightstown's been able to do dirt and turf as a sire. Obviously, a little bit more dirt success. So, at the end of the day, I don't think the dirt's going to be a problem. Dam side, his dam is actually a winner of a Breeders' Cup race on the grass. However, she has produced horses that have ran well on the dirt as well. So, pedigree-wise, workout-wise, this horse has been moving phenomenally over the dirt up at Woodbine. He'll ship into Churchill, and I feel like that'll be the indication. If he's working well at Churchill, he could be primed for a big run. However, there are a couple negatives. I know I've just strictly stuck to the impressive things about this horse. Let's talk about the negatives. First off, other than the fact this is first time dirt for this horse, first time stretching out this distance pedigree-wise will not be a problem. He does have to switch to a new jockey. Corey Lanerie, not a bad choice at all. Corey Lanerie, 19 total Churchill Downs riding titles, second in the Derby in 2017. So that's a positive for him in this spot. But the pace is probably the biggest negative here. This is a horse, because he's so lightly raced, he's so untested. This is the first time he's going to have to really face adversity. Broke his maiden going wire to wire. Last time out in the Marine was second, less than a length from the lead until he took the lead around the far turn. Well, in this race, you got the likes of Authentic and Art Collector and King Guillermo and even Thousand Words in New York Traffic, Storm the Court, all horses you like to be either on the lead or just a length or two from it. There's a lot of speed in this race, and Shirl Speight makes it even quicker. And the fact that this is such a big group, he's beating a 10-horse field and a 7-horse field. Well, now he's going to face likely 17 other horses in this race based off of the projected field at the moment. That's a big concern. He's just so light on test. He's light on the horses he's faced. He's just a gigantic wild card. A lot of raw talent though. If this horse had a couple more races under his belt, I envision he would be one of the Derby favorites. But obviously, only 2 races. Giant concern at that standpoint. Wouldn't be surprised though. I feel like he's going to take a good amount of money. You're going to have some, ridiculously long shots in this race. Up in the 80, 90 to 1s. I wouldn't be surprised to see Shirl Speight as low as 20 to 1 in this group, which obviously 20 to 1's a bit of a long shot, but considering this horse has only ran 2 races, never on the dirt, that would be pretty low. But he's shown immense talent in his workouts and in his 2 wins, and he's already a 2-time winner on our surface. And I think it would be absolutely insane for a horse to win the Kentucky Derby in his 3rd career start, and it'd be his 3rd different surface. That would truly be the mark of a champion, but it does seem like a bit of a long shot chance here. But I also appreciate his owner, Charles Fipke, for taking the shot here, throwing such a fun horse in this race to take his chance. And while obviously there's a lot going against him, it could be fun if he runs a big race. I would not be surprised at all to see Shirl Speight, near the lead, not fading at all at the top of the stretch. Obviously, though, he is a gigantic wild card in this year's Derby. That's all I have for you guys. We'll see you next time on the Racing Rundown with more Derby coverage.
7 behind, top of the lane, and Shirl Speight a length and a half to Just Like Larry, given full bore. On the outside, US Army Corps, and down the centre is Enchant Me, but it's Shirl Speight just rocking away from the opposition. In second, Just Like Larry, Letard is back on the rail making late ground, but Shirl Speight in an absolute cakewalk had never ever been troubled, and this is really in just what I consider second gear. And how many gears are there? I'd say plenty of them left. Shirl Speight by 7 or 8 lengths.